I'm sceptical as well. I think when you're a Prime Minister, once your moral authority has gone, it's very, very difficult to get it back. Now, some people may say that his moral authority hasn't quite disappeared yet. Well, I think among large parts of the electorate, it probably is on its way out. And I think this has done huge damage. I mean, my view is that it's the hypocrisy that gets you in the end on stuff like this. I mean, in a sane world, I think a breach of social distancing regulations would be seen as a minor infraction, a bit like driving at 35 miles an hour in a 30 miles an hour zone. Yeah. The problem is this, with that comparison. If the government had held a daily press conference telling people you must not drive at 35 miles an hour in a 30 miles an hour zone, if they'd launched a huge publicity campaign about it and were drilling it into us day after day, and one of them got caught driving at 35 miles an hour, then it becomes a major infraction because people say, well, you're a hypocrite. Exactly what you were telling us not to do and drilling it into us, you're now doing yourself.
It all reminds me of back to basics and family values, which are major and it all fell to pieces.
I think the problem, though, Nigel, I think you hit on it, it's you know, we heard that there was potentially a party, it was about a week ago now. I think did we not talk about it on the show last week? And then there was complete denial, no, absolutely not, you know, all rules were followed, all guidance was followed. Own up. It's Dominic Cummings all over again, just own up.
I mean, the problem is this, isn't it? Twice he's told the House of Commons, in response to Keir Starmer, twice he's told the House of Commons there was no party. Now, if it turns out he does know that something took place, that's pretty serious.
He's got an honesty problem, I have to say. I mean, I saw him up close when he was the Mayor of London. I, at the time, was the Regional Secretary of the Fire Brigades Union in London, and he was responsible, ultimately, for London's fire service. And I knew, and firefighters knew, and members of the public knew, that he wasn't being straight with them over certain stuff. But in the chamber at City Hall, you can get away with that sort of stuff because the national media isn't necessarily focusing on it. I think the problem, and I think that's his history, actually. I think that's the history of the man. The problem is when you're in the hot seat in number 10, then all of a sudden, you know, people go through every statement with a fine-tooth comb and you can't get away with dishonesty. And he does spin lines and he's disingenuous and he gets caught out. And I think these things are now piling up on him.